there's a staggering chance that a huge chunk of your life and your family's history passed through the hands of a single company. Imagine a retailer so massive, so completely dominant, that it didn't just sell you a couch. It sold you the plot of land to put your house on. It sold you the pre-cut lumber to build that house, the mortgage to finance it, the appliances to fill it, and the insurance policy to protect it. This wasn't just a department store, it was an ecosystem, a self-contained universe of the American dream. For nearly a century, its name was absolute gold: Sears, Roebuck and Company. At its peak, Sears was responsible for over 1% of the entire United States gross national product. 1 out of every 204 American workers drew a paycheck from Sears. It was quite literally too big to fail. And yet, it collapsed. Sears went from the absolute pinnacle of global commerce to Chapter 11 bankruptcy, closing thousands of stores and leaving behind empty, haunting shelves in abandoned shopping malls across America. Most people think Sears was killed by Amazon, or maybe Walmart. But the truth is much more tragic. Sears wasn't brought down by a competitor. It was brought down by a single, catastrophic mistake made at the absolute height of its power. A mistake so subtle that by the time executives realized what they'd done, the empire was already doomed. This is the story of how the original everything store built middle-class America, and how it forgot how to save itself. To understand how high Sears fell, you have to understand where it started. And strangely enough, it all began with a box of unwanted pocket watches. The year was 1886. A young railroad station agent in Minnesota named Richard Sears stumbled upon a shipment of watches that a local jeweler didn't want. Instead of sending them back, Sears bought them, sold them to other station agents along the rail line, and made a fast profit. He quickly realized something revolutionary. America was expanding fast, but millions of farmers and rural families were isolated. If you lived in rural Kansas or the Dakotas, the local general store charged whatever prices it wanted for low-quality goods. Sears teamed up with a skilled watchmaker named Alva Roebuck, and together they launched a brand new concept: risk-free, remote shopping. They printed a catalog. But it wasn't just a pamphlet, it grew into a 500-page behemoth known as the Consumer's Bible. If you were a farmer's wife, that catalog brought the latest New York fashions straight to your dirt driveway. If you were a builder, you could literally order an entire house. Between 1908 and 1940, Sears sold over 70,000 kit homes. They shipped you 30,000 pieces of pre-cut lumber, 750 pounds of nails, the instruction booklet, and all the plumbing. You just bolted it together. Sears was the internet before the internet existed. It democratized retail. By the 1920s, Sears saw another massive wave coming before anyone else: the automobile. While other retailers were fighting for expensive, crowded real estate on downtown main streets, Sears did something crazy. They bought up massive tracts of cheap farmland right outside major cities. They built giant stores surrounded by endless free parking spaces. Sears single-handedly pioneered the modern suburban retail model decades before the post-World War II baby boom made suburbs popular. And inside those stores, they built a bulletproof fortress of consumer trust. You didn't just buy a tool at Sears, you bought a Craftsman wrench backed by a legendary forever warranty.